Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Chimera. It's been a long time since I've reviewed this medium, and I figured it's about due time. So in today's video, I'm going to be letting you know everything you're going to need to about this British monster. Is it still a good tank? Is it worth the purchase? Or should you stay far away from it? Well, let's start off with its statistics. The Chimera features a 440 alpha gun, and something that a lot of people don't take notice of is how good the premium damage is, still at 400. It's only a 40 damage drop-off. Normally, you're looking at a 60 to 80 damage drop-off for most tanks. A great example of this are 122s. The IS-5 or the IS-6 have 400 alpha on the standard and 340 on the gold. That's a 60 damage drop-off. This, at only a 40 damage drop-off, is quite a bit less, which is really good. It means that you can load gold and really not suffer that many consequences. And by the way, it's got really good pen. 235 on the standard and 265 on the gold means you're not really going to struggle to cut through most people to begin with. You also have 70 millimeters of high explosive pen, which deals a pretty good 530 damage per shot. The Chimera also has great gun depression at 10 degrees. Overall, it's actually a pretty good tank. And when you add that with the dispersion and aiming time being very good for the level of damage per shot it has, well, honestly, the Chimera doesn't really have many downsides. The only real part of the Chimera that's not great is the damage per minute. It's like 1800, which is one of the lowest for a medium. You can drive more DPM-centric mediums like an Indian Panzer or T95E2, and you'll be sitting at upwards of 25 to 2700. In fact, the Pershing, I think, can get close to 3K, but the Chimera trades that for alpha damage. And it has armor and pretty good mobility. So the question is, what do I think of the Chimera? And personally, I would definitely put it into the super strong category. I don't know if I'd put the Chimera into the OP category, just down to the fact that it doesn't have enough DPM to really carry games like a beast. DPM is still a very important value. And yes, alpha is amazing, don't get me wrong, but I usually like to have a combo of damage per minute and alpha to really put the kicker into my opponents. And this tank carries one of those categories, but it's not the best in the other. So I'm not going to say it's an entirely overpowered tank, but that doesn't take away from its capabilities. This is still a very, very strong vehicle. It still has great damage per shot and is just super fun to play in general. So we can see the Hazard, we can see the WZ, we can see the T77 as well, and I'm so close to being able to shoot that T77, but he's putting himself in like a real awkward spot. Here we go, aiming, 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 and boom! That, though, is where that alpha damage feels crazy good. 466 damage into that player. I mean, that is a huge chunk, but we can see that this 14-second reload is very long and quite noticeable. So we're going to aim it on the rear of the CDC. I was tempted to shoot a high explosive, but it wasn't necessary. And AP does the job and did more than the job in that game. We got a pretty dangerous bleed out into that player. So we have the CDC, but I'm not really going to worry about any of that right now. I could shoot the Annihilator, but I need to help out my teammates with this Vipera, so we're going to push over here. We're going to get an easy shell right into this tank, aiming. Boom, 400 damage shot. Bit of a low roll, but that's all right. Let's hope that our team picks up the clear. Perfect. Okay. So far, pretty good stuff. I'm going to hop into base B, and I don't know if I'm going to worry about the base cap yet. We're pretty close on base cap. That's just because we've killed a lot of the enemy. We have the Annihilator right in front. And yeah, you shoot me for 347, but I don't really know if that was a worthy trade. What's crazy is that the Annihilator actually might out-reload me. That's the insane part, because the Annihilator obviously features that stupid level of DPM for the clipping potential, but doesn't matter. Annihilator's knocked out of the game. I don't need to worry about him anymore. So we're up to 2,000 damage now. We also have a little bit extra from a fire. We got the WZ in mid, who we're going to push towards. Can't hit the WZ just yet. But if I move up a teeny bit and I climb up this little bit of a hill here, there you go, 480. God, does that alpha feel good. All right, well, we got the T77 in front. I'm going to pretend like I have a shell. T77's not going to know what to do. And we're going to keep moving up over here. Let's see. What are you going to do, you little goober? What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to load in a high explosive and get the clear right into your roof. And we're going to be fine on our reload because the WZ doesn't even shoot me. So we should be completely fine. But again, long reload, very, very long. So even though this WZ has much, much less alpha than me, he still basically reloaded the same even though I fired before. But we had a good result, 3,000 damage, and top on the team. We also got a slight fire, as I mentioned before, so it's probably more like 3,200 damage, I would say, somewhere around that ballpark. 3,143. We ended up blocking over 1,030 and getting ourselves a second class, which puts me at a pretty fantastic result for game number 1. All right, let's do one more game of the Chimera and see if it can do just as well. Now, the Chimera is a great example of how power creep does affect certain tanks, but not others. Yeah, there are a lot of vehicles now in Tier 8 which are really good. We got the Vickers MBT, we got the Object 590, which alone are some of the best mediums. We also have the Barask, which was released quite a bit later than the Chimera. And I would say these 3 mediums definitely have advantages in their own capabilities. The 590 and Vickers MBT have flat better turret armor than the Chimera, and not only that, but they also feature great gun depression, meaning that you can go toe-to-toe with a vehicle like this, get hauled down, and a Chimera is going to have a very hard time countering it. You also have the Barask, which has even more damage output, more mobility, and better camo values. So there are definitely tanks now that have really, really solid overall capabilities that even kind of trump the Chimeras. But at the same time, this is still the highest alpha of a single shot for a medium, which is wild. So we're going to move over with the AMX. I'm not going to push wide, but what I am going to do is move right into this bush here. Could have shot that standard B. Hopefully he didn't spot me. Okay, no, we're good. All right, I'm going to move right over here, though, and we're going to see. Oh, there you have it. We have the SU-130 detected. Unfortunately, the shell I fired did not end up penning the SU-130. Was really hoping that would, but it's okay. We're fine. We're in cover. I don't really need to worry about being shot or anything like that. Okay, we have the ISU. Again, though, this poor DPM makes it so that I have to wait a very long time to get my shells out. I would expect my 30 Proto to... Never mind, that 30 Proto is probably going to die. This is a bit of a problem. Yeah, no thank you. Let's maneuver out of here. Don't really like the situation that I've been handled. Alright, let's take a quick shot at that T-77. We do actually hit the shell, which is nice. STA shoots at me, and I've got my finger on the repair kit. I swear if you track me again, I'm going to be so salty. Okay, we're good. But, wow, yeah, that's half my health gone, just like that, so a little unfortunate. Mobility on this tank, it's good, but it's not great. Like, you go 50, but as we can see, the power to weight is really, really mediocre. In fact, the major reason I was worried about pushing where I did to begin with was because of exactly what happened to my team there. But again, that alpha feels great. I just chunked a third of that STA-1 off, and we're up to 1,500 damage already, which is pretty solid stuff. So we have the standard B, and I'm not exactly sure what the standard's plan is, but we are going to put on our adrenaline, aim it on his tank, and boom! 386 damage. Easy. Okay, so the standard B is no longer a threat for me. I can get that player taken out in one shot. I mean, the standard is still a threat. That is a very, very dangerous tank, but not something I'm incredibly worried about right now. So I'm kind of hoping that the STA at some point makes a poke here. Let's see. Come on, STA. You know you want to. Come on. Come on. Really? No poke? I guess it's because our T-77's over there. Alright, well, Skoda is trying to fight this player. I'm going to aim it on the T-77, actually. Mainly because I think the T-77's a bigger threat than the Skoda T-56 right now. The double shot mechanic that vehicle has is really annoying to fight, and the IS-5 does get the clear into that player. So we've got a couple seconds left on a reload again. This long reload makes it very hard sometimes to counter opponents. Alright, let's see. Alright, STA gets bonked, and all that's left is the ISU. Okay, well, we actually had a pretty solid game here as well. 2 good battles, and yeah, I'm not going to get too mad. Let's get the shell into the enemy there. We do have the STA. IS-5 gets the clear. As much as I was thinking about, like, damn, I should have killed that STA, at the end of the day, I didn't really care that much. Just hoping that the ISU doesn't bonk me. No! I needed, like, this much longer on my reload. But there you go. Another solid result. You can see a little bit where the Chimera's weaknesses can cause problems. It's not the fastest, so where I put myself, I had to get out, and because of that, it was a little sus on the escape. And not only that, but the gun is not the most effective in DPM, so it's a little challenging sometimes to get out that reload to continuously pump out damage. But, on the other hand, the alpha damage, the accuracy, and the flexibility of this vehicle is great. So we had two very solid games, netted a lot of credits, and I think this is just a great showcase of why the Chimera is so dang good. It is still one of the best mediums in Tier 8. I don't think it's as good as the Vickers MBT, because the Vickers has the turret armor, it has the same gun depression. It's got a really good alpha as well, sitting at 320 damage per shot. It's got even more penetration on the gold. This is a fantastic tank. And I think that this is really the best Tier 8 medium we have access to. But I also think vehicles like the Defender Mark 1 with better turret armor and clipping potential with really, really good penetration, even more on the standard and on the premium, I think that there are still better options than the Chimera. I think I can do better in a Defender Mark 1, to be entirely honest, and I think that I can do better in a Barask. But overall, I think the Chimera is a fantastic vehicle. I think it's great for any player, and it's a fun tank to play. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. And if you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!